wisely said, you cannot help getting older, but you can help getting old. It has also been said that age is a matter of the mind. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. My purpose in doing the show is so that seniors and caregivers can share their ideas and questions on how we can age gracefully and in a vertical position for as long as our good genes will allow. And if we've inherited bad genes, how to outwit them. Our topics include senior housing, financial, legal, safety, travel, health issues, interesting senior events in the community, and most of all, tips on how to put old on hold.
If your question is, who am I going to call to bring the kind of services into my home that I need because I can't get out? House Calls on Wheels provides both medical and non-medical services in your home. They can bring in doctors, dentists, nurses, therapists, and more. And those medical services are covered by Medicare and most private insurance plans. And they have all sorts of non-medical services, whatever you need. Now, if you use 4 hours or more of non-medical services per month, you're going to get a free personal emergency button telephone that you can use for both emergencies or daily use. Call House Calls on Wheels toll-free for further information. 1-888-489-8980. That's 1-888-489-8980.
Hi, Ike Engelbaum. One of my sponsors is Cofix Nasal Spray. You can spray the inside of your nose and almost have the same benefits as a mask. In fact, it's been so well proven that it's now on the market in drugstores. Cofix RX. Spray it in the nose. 45 seconds later, you have up to 8 hours like a shield inside your nose. It's been scientifically proven. I'm really excited about it. I use it anytime I go out in a huge crowd. If you need any more information, call 888-489-8980. And I'd like you to write that number down. 888-489-8980. As you may have heard, Bob Allison's wonderful voice, he's no longer around, promoting how we can be safe at home. And I am really proud to have a phenomenal team working with me, that if you have family visiting you and you need some additional help, that's part of what House Calls on Wheels does. Medical and non-medical services. I'd like to add a sweet note with the holiday season coming on, and that is one of our sponsors, Cory Bakery. You may remember they've been around for years. They're on Farmington Road between Schoolcraft and Plymouth Roads in Livonia. They have daily and weekly specials that are perfect for any budget. All your holiday favorites are in stock and ready to put a smile on the face of your holiday guests. We are so blessed to have so many wonderful sponsors, and Cory Bakery is one of them. Their direct phone number is 734-943-1301. That's 734-943-1301. And if I give out phone numbers throughout the show, by all means, feel free, if you missed one of the digits, to call me at 888-489-8980. You can always make someone's day a treat to an Cory Bakery item. And someone who I really respect and have tried to get on my show for quite a long time, but he is a busy individual, and I've had the privilege of knowing him through a lot of my contacts. I belong to the Rotary Club and the Optimist Club, and we've dropped off some of our excess, I hate to say excess, extra food over at Grace Centers of Hope. It's a magnificent jewel in our community. And as far as jewel is concerned, Pastor Clark is certainly one of those special human beings that I've had the privilege of actually seeing and shaking hands a few times, but he's such a busy guy, he probably doesn't remember that. Pastor Kent Clark is the CEO of Oakland County's largest and oldest homeless shelter. The organization was founded in 1942 as the Pontiac Rescue Mission. He has transferred leadership. Under his leadership, he's recognized that food and shelter alone are not sufficient for the transitioning of the homeless to becoming productive members of our community. Under Clark's leadership, the former Pontiac Rescue Mission, now known as Grace Centers of Hope, has assisted nearly 10,000 men, women, and children through addiction, homelessness, and abuse. It's operating under a $7 million budget, and guess what? They do not get any money from the government. They pride themselves on they get zero government assistance. Since its inception as the Pontiac Rescue Mission, the nonprofit is estimated to have helped 20,000 people. Pastor Clark continues to serve as the CEO as well as the senior pastor of Grace Gospel Fellowship Church, which is also located in Pontiac, Michigan. Welcome, Pastor Clark. I am so impressed with your credentials, and I'm really excited to have you on the air. Welcome.
Well, Ike, it's an honor to be on your program. Thank you so much for inviting me.
It is my pleasure. Tell me, of all the paths, so to speak, that a pastor can go, what prompted you to do what you're doing over at Grace Centers of Hope?
Well, at Grace Centers of Hope, which was the old Pontiac Rescue Mission, when I first came to Grace Centers, being on the board of directors, I saw that simply feeding, clothing, and sheltering certainly wasn't the answer. Just keeping the drug addict alive wasn't what I wanted to see happen. We want to see people get their life back, become productive citizens. So simply feeding them, providing nights of stay, they need much more than that. And government funding wasn't and isn't getting the job done with regard to addiction. So here at Grace Centers of Hope, this is a miracle place. We see people get their life back, get off of drugs, get their children back, put their family back together, become homeowners and productive citizens. We're seeing a real life change with our people that come to Grace.
Well, I've had the privilege of dropping off some of the extra goodies and food that our Rotary and Optimist Club many times over orders, and the reception I get is just so heartwarming. It's incredible, and I don't mind sharing with the audience that if you have extra food, there's certainly a lot of great food banks and all, and I don't want to take away from them. But what I was impressed with, there have been weekends, like on Saturdays, where we've done a health fair, and it's like 4 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon. Everyone's closed, but not Great Centers of Hope. You guys are open all the time, aren't you?
We are indeed. 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, but the great thing is to see the transition in people's lives. In our country, we don't have simply a feeding problem. We have a drug problem, and that can't be solved by Washington handing out welfare checks. People need people, and they need that companionship and love and care, and held accountable and responsible for their choices. So here at Grace Centers, we emphasize those things, and family, I believe, is the building block of a solid society. And I can see in our country, we're going the wrong way here. We need to keep families together, help mom be a good mom and dad be a great dad. And these children that are being neglected because of their parents' use of drugs, not a good thing for these kids either. We have 26 children in our daycare. 48 men are here in the life skills, 45 women here at Grace Centers. We do serve the meals, and the meals are important as people come in, especially like the weather we're having now. We're seeing a lot of men, women, and children come to Grace Centers.
Now, I understand you've actually not only helped these poor souls in your building, but you've also purchased and renovated some homes in Pontiac. Is that correct?
We have over 56 houses here in downtown Pontiac. We've bought these houses and renovated. They're beautiful houses, and the people who go through our program after having successfully gone through the 1-year life skills and then 2 years in aftercare, putting their lives back together, have opportunity to purchase one of these houses. And we have sold several.
And on some of the information that I was sent, you served 127,000 meals last year. And
that doesn't take very long when you're serving 3 meals a day, and people are continuously coming to you. And now that we're nearing Thanksgiving and, of course, Christmas, it can be a very lonely time for the addict who's out there, and we see more people come to us during these 2 months than probably any time during the year, lonely, and finding not only food, but finding real life.
And I always give out my toll-free number for contact, which is 888-489-8980. But do you have a direct phone number that you'd like to give out?
Well, it's 248-334-2187. That'll get you right here to the main building.
That's 248-334-2187. And as far as someone wants to put in sweat equity, volunteer, are you open to that, or you have enough of your staff handling that type of thing?
Well, Grace Centers volunteers are our heroes. We don't take any government funding, and people helping people is really an answer to the drug problem. It's not a cold check or a handout of welfare dollars, but really people coming alongside, and we see that working, and people becoming productive citizens. So if you want to volunteer, I would encourage folks to come and see for themselves. You may be thinking, well, I've never heard of a place like this. Mm-hmm. Well, come and see. You will see what awesome things are happening here at Grace Centers.
Well, I'll tell you, the people that I've been in touch with when I've dropped off some food are so gracious. You got a great name, Grace Centers. I wondered...
Unmerited favor, right? I would say to anyone out there who's having a real problem with addiction, Grace Center certainly is willing to be of assistance to you. I would encourage people to go to www.gracecentersofhope.org, and you can see those houses that I was talking about that have been renovated, beautiful homes, and you'll see all about Grace Centers of Hope. If you'd like to donate, I think, Ike, you've already told them that our budget is $7 million a year, and not one penny of that coming from government funding.
Well, it just goes to show you that the American spirit is alive, and I'm so pleased to hear such a wonderful story. And you have a program of a 1-year life skills program. Can you tell me a little bit about that, how that works?
Well, when the addict comes in to Grace Centers, we start teaching them the basics of real life, not just handouts, but how to become a productive citizen, holding them accountable and responsible for their actions. Work ethic is very, very important. Earning your keep. So they go through our 1-year program, and then after that 1-year program of life skills, they go into a 2-year aftercare program where they actually live in Little Grace Village, which is a community of houses that we own. And while they're getting their life back in those 2 years working and earning a living, we see tremendous gains where they have a happy life without drugs and finding success and become productive citizens. It's just an awesome thing. Sometimes people say they feel sorry for me working over here in downtown Pontiac and in a homeless shelter. It's the most rewarding, wonderful life I have ever had, seeing people get their lives back and becoming the production production citizens and putting their families back together, mom and dad and children.
I mean, I'll tell you, I'm a pharmacist, so I've had professional experience dealing with drug addicts and getting to know them because we were servicing group homes, and the support that you have in a facility such as yours, where you have other people suffering, unfortunately, from drug addiction, that in itself has got to help that spirit as well as their rehabilitation process. I would imagine that really makes a tremendous difference.
It does indeed. And being able to come alongside people, the truth is people need people. It's not simply a monetary handout, but people need to be cared for and loved, and coming alongside them is just an awesome thing. It's a family-like atmosphere here at Grace Centers. We're family. There's a lot of love and care. It's not just a disciplinarian thing. It's really caring for people, getting their life back, and you can feel it.
No, I can see it in my brief encounters when I've dropped some packages of food off. Are you able to stick around for a few more minutes, or are you?
Sure.
Okay, I'd like to take a break, and when we come back, I wanted you to give us a little overview of your daycare program for children, which I think is absolutely phenomenal. Don't go away, folks. We'll be right back with Pastor Clark. Hi, Ike Engelbaum. I am really excited about a new sponsor, and that is Memory Health. These are vitamin capsules that you take 3 a day, and it improves your memory. Memory Health has been proven to be scientifically helpful for early stages of Alzheimer's. In fact, it has been claimed that it can even forestall Alzheimer's. Dr. Joel Kahn made this statement: in my more than 30 years of practicing medicine, no other product has ever come close to truly supporting brain health like Memory Health. It's a safe, natural supplement. If you need any more information, call 888-489-8980. Family run for over 88 years, Friends Hardware has remained family owned and operated. Friends Hardware is one of a kind. You'll find the newest products offered on TV at very competitive prices. You'll also find safety products, grab bars for bathrooms, battery-operated light switches, remote control devices that you can turn your lamps on or any electrical device. You don't have to run out there anymore. Just press the button. Better yet, just visit Friends Hardware, located on Main Street and 11.5 Mile Road. They're open every day. If you wish to call, it's 248-544-8111. That's 248-544-8111. Better yet, just visit 11.5 Mile Road and Main Street, Friends Hardware. Welcome back. In the Jewish tradition, there's a word called bashert. Bashert, B-A-S-H-E-R-T, is a sort of a better view of things that are really appropriate. And I can't think of something that's more appropriate. For those of you who've been around for a while and know of Superman, he was referred to as Clark Kent. And guess what? We have a pastor called Kent Clark. I don't know if you've ever been compared to Superman, but in my opinion, you are.
Thank you, Ike. That name has, I've heard that many times, but really, I feel like I'm just backwards from Superman. There's a lot of people that have made Grace Centers what it is today. Lots of help. And what you were saying earlier about the people in our country who give back and really care. It's so encouraging to see that happen. And this time of year, around Thanksgiving and Christmas, we see a lot of giving, and we're grateful and thankful.
I know you have a busy schedule, but I'd love to have you speak to our Rotary Club and Optimist Club, and I can check with your secretary to see if it's workable. Do you welcome opportunities to speak to different organizations, Pastor?
I absolutely would, and appreciate you thinking about me today and having us on your program and giving out the word. Grace Centers is, what's happening here is such an encouragement to many of us who feel like our country at times looks like it's falling apart. But to see the success of people getting their life back is just an awesome experience.
Yeah, no, that's a blessing that really cannot be equivocated to any monetary type deal. And I understand you're currently developing a career and education center, which has already been state licensed as a GED testing site. Is that correct?
That's very true. Right here in Pontiac, years ago, 30 plus years ago, when I came to Grace Centers, we were what I would call feed, clothe, and shelter addict. We would take care of them for a few weeks. They'd draw a welfare check and then disappear back out into drugs again. Now we have everything the addict needs to get off of that addiction. Education, you mentioned our daycare earlier. Currently, we have 64 children in our fully licensed daycare. Last year alone, we provided over 32,000 hours of child care free of charge. What happens is a mom and dad comes to Grace Centers. They may have been living primarily for some time in their car, the children sleeping in the back seat of the car or in vacant houses. These children have been neglected in our daycare. They get a lot of love and attention, and the schooling, the educational part for our kids, that's real important here at Grace Centers. We're just seeing children thrive at Grace Centers of Hope. It's awesome.
Mm-hmm. And do you have to be a resident in Pontiac, or is anyone in Oakland County eligible for your support?
Well, certainly if there's somebody out there who's addicted and needs Grace Centers of Hope, there is no charge for coming here. But with regard to our children come with moms and dads. And while mom and dad are getting their life back, the children are in the daycare being loved and educated and getting their life back as well. And children in an environment of love and caring just excel. It's wonderful to see what's happening with our children here.
Well, what a wonderful mission that is in itself. And you really thought almost every aspect of need, not only in the facility, but the fact that you're helping people become homeowners. And we always say, as long as you have a roof over your head and food, you at least have got the basics of having a life, and you're certainly fulfilling God's mission, and I'm so pleased to have you in our community. Grace Centers is right down the street from LeClaire Hospital, as best that I can describe it. It's sort of downtown Pontiac, and if anyone is interested in more information, Pastor Clark, would you like to give out your phone number a couple more times?
Well, the phone number here at the building in downtown Pontiac, which is the old Pontiac Post Office. It used to be the Pontiac Post Office. But the number here is 248-334-2187. And, of course, the website is www.gracecentersofhope.org. And it's a wonderful website. You can find out everything you want to know about Grace Centers.
Well, it's certainly a great name for your organization, and that's the one thing that kind of keep our society together is hope and love, and we love what you're doing, Pastor Clark. It's been a delight to have you on the air, and I would love to talk to you more, but we'll have to do it another time. God bless you.
Well, thank you so much for having us today.
Right.
And anytime I can come and speak to any group or someone here from the center can come and tell you about the volunteer opportunities, we're more than happy to do that.
Wonderful. Great. I only have enough time to wrap it up with my favorite parting thought, which is yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. Today is a gift, and that's why we call it the present. Please enjoy your present by looking and living life with the bright side of aging. Welcome to the Entrepreneurs Network radio show. Our mission is to interview successful entrepreneurs who are willing to share with us their ideas and experiences, both the successes and the failures. Because as it has been jokingly said, you should learn from the mistakes of others because you'll never live long enough to make them all yourself. My name is Ike Engelbaum, and I'm the founder of the Entrepreneurs Network of Michigan, which is a group of motivated people that are all interested in helping each other in achieving our personal and professional goals. Please check out our website, EntrepreneursNetworkofMichigan.com, for meeting schedule as well as self-improvement material. Our philosophy is that if it's to be, it's up to me. Family run for over 88 years, Frentz Hardware has remained family owned and operated. Frentz Hardware is one of a kind. You'll find the newest products offered on TV at very competitive prices. You'll also find safety products, grab bars for bathrooms, battery-operated light switches, remote control devices that you can turn your lamps on or any electrical device. You don't have to run out there anymore. Just press the button. Better yet, just visit Frentz Hardware, located on Main Street and 11.5 Mile Road. They're open every day. If you wish to call, it's 248-544-8111. That's 248-544-8111. Better yet, just visit 11.5 Mile Road and Main Street, Frentz Hardware.
If your question is, who am I going to call to bring the kind of services into my home that I need because I can't get out? House Calls on Wheels provides both medical and non-medical services in your home. They can bring in doctors, dentists, nurses, therapists, and more. And those medical services are covered by Medicare and most private insurance plans. And they have all sorts of non-medical services, whatever you need. Now, if you use 4 hours or more of non-medical services per month, you're going to get a free personal emergency button telephone that you can use for both emergencies or daily use. Call House Calls on Wheels toll-free for further information. 1-888-489-8980. That's 1-888-489-8980.
And write that phone number down, especially now with the holiday season coming on. And you have relatives possibly visiting you that are fragile. House Calls on Wheels can help prepare the home so that it's, I like to call it, patient-friendly. Many times you overlook basics like not having handrails in appropriate places. There's no charge for an evaluation. We'll be glad to send one of our team members out who can sort of eyeball things to make sure that you're safe for yourself as well as your relatives. We can rent out mini ramps if you got stairs that are sort of difficult to maneuver on. And especially with the holiday season, and you are so happy to have a tree in the home. I drove by a fire station yesterday, and on the on the outside it had a neat little sign that said, "Please water your tree so that we don't have to." Sort of makes you think about basics of having a smoke alarm and a mini fire extinguisher. And we can provide that at a very nominal fee and even install a smoke alarm for you. And there's no charge for our coming out to do an evaluation. So give us a call at 888-489-8980. And there are a lot of people now reconsidering their path for the new year. We always used to, in the old days before COVID, sort of wanted to make plans for the upcoming year. Well, guess what? There are so many people out there since COVID who've had a chance to recalculate, as I like to say, their life. And if you're looking for an opportunity to be your boss, and as the saying goes, that to be alone but not be alone as such, you can be self-employed and continue doing what you're doing. And we've heard all these, horrendous situations with schools and teachers being dictated as to what they can say. Many teachers are rethinking their career path. And one of the things that you might want to consider, do not leave whatever you're doing if it's paying your bills. Why not consider having, as they say, a side hustle that could become a full hustle? And one of the best concepts that has been around for years is franchising. And I'm so pleased to have as a friend and a knowledgeable individual by the name of Mark Cory. Mark Cory is a franchise placement specialist, and he's the owner of the FranNet of Michigan. And he's been helping aspiring entrepreneurs to make the right franchise choice since 2002. That's almost like last century, Mark. Is that right?
Seems like it. 20 years and going.
Well, that's wonderful. That what I admire about you is the fact that you really don't have like a one franchise concept to sell. You meet with potential clients that are looking to get into the whole aspect of franchising. And one of the areas, obviously, is actually professional people that are looking to add to their income and be their own boss. And I am so pleased that you are putting on a seminar where you're reaching out to teachers. And the seminar is tomorrow, and it's being promoted as teacher-friendly business opportunities. Is that right?
Correct.
And I wanted to get some basics, since you are a specialist in franchising. How do you handle your initial visit with a potential client? What's the interview go like? How do you handle that?
It's a conversation to determine whether somebody should even start the process of finding the right business at this point in their life or career. So I ask some general questions about what's going on for them now that's got them even considering taking risk and becoming a business owner. And we talk about the time commitment, not only to operate a business, but to research different franchises in order to get to the right answer. Do they make that, or can they make that commitment of time at this point? Mm-hmm. And if they get to the right answer and the right one hits them on the head, are they in a position to move forward and execute? Again, that requires a significant time commitment as well as a financial commitment. Mm. So at the end of that conversation, it's usually not more than 30 minutes, we mutually determine whether it makes sense to get the process started, researching viable franchise choices that best meet their criteria. And if that's the case, we'll set up a 2-hour consultation to craft a business model together, a snapshot of their ideal business, and then I'll present 2, 3, 4 different options from the over 250 different franchise companies that we have relationships with that best fit their model. And I get them started on the investigation process, and I coach them through that on a weekly basis to help them get the facts and the answers they need to make a wise choice.
Now, FranNet as such has been around for quite a while, has it not?
Since 1987. Talk about last century. There you go.
There were the and do you have a special technique? Let's say someone comes in, they want to buy a franchise. Do you sort of evaluate based on what they tell you as to which franchise they might? They may want to flip hamburgers, but they've had no experience in the restaurant business. Do you sort of match what their background is to what you feel they'd be most successful at?
More importantly, their transferable skills are matched to the role of the owner in that particular business. There's rarely is prior industry experience required in franchising. The franchisor is going to teach you the of their business, but you have certain skills and aptitudes as far as people management, maybe selling ability, depending on the type of franchise, and those sorts of things. They determine that good match for their system.
Mm-hmm. Now, is there a phone number that you'd like to give out, or a website that you'd like people to fill out so that your visit is more productive?
Yeah, my phone number is 313-821-5060. And they can visit frannet.com, FRANNET.com /MCORY, Cory. And that'll take them to my page on the FranNet website.
And they're always welcome to call our toll-free number, 888-489-8980. And tell me, with the current environment, do you feel it makes sense for people to consider franchising?
That's a great question. And in the 20 years I've been doing this, I've been through just about every type of economic. And depending on the business, any time could be a good time. And when times are tough economically, or there's a pandemic and businesses are shut down, people should be looking at businesses that provide essential services. Those are things that need to be provided no matter what's going on. We saw during the early days of the pandemic that certain types of businesses were able to continue operating. They had to. In-home health care is a prime example of that. And then other no-contact services, outdoor maintenance, landscaping, things like that. Emergency repair services, restoration services.
they say, oh, that's an old saying, a corny saying. The truth is, a lot of corny sayings are really corny, so to speak, because they have merit to them. Otherwise, you would never hear it again. And the truth is, and for every setback, it's been said, there's an opportunity if you're open-minded. And I really have to give you and Fran that credit, because teachers are really fantastic type of people that should consider franchising, because they've obviously gotten a degree in how to convey different lessons and all. And I assume your webinar tomorrow for teachers has actually been put on for that reason. Can you tell us a little bit what people can expect?
Yeah. Now, on the topic of corny expressions, here's one for you. Patience is a virtue. And what occupation requires more patience than a teacher? Probably none. And that's something required of entrepreneurs as well. If you're going to start a business, you got to be patient, because you will not be an overnight success. So teachers have that going for them right from the get-go, which is a great thing. And as you mentioned earlier, a lot of them are looking to do something different, maybe make a career change and jump full-time into a business of their own. Others might be looking to get something started on the side where they can be a semi-absentee owner, or maybe they have a family member that's able to run the business for them, and that could give them an opportunity sooner rather than later. You know, maybe take an early retirement or make that full-time jump into business ownership in the next few years, as opposed to waiting for a decade or more.
Right.
We're highlighting a few different options that may be of interest to teachers. A couple of them are seasonal type businesses, so they'll have a busy season of probably 6-7 months, and then it tails off and they start to gear up for the next year. And then at least one of them is a semi-absentee model where they can hire a full-time manager to run the business.
Yeah, well, it's certainly convenient. Can you tell us how do people participate? That's tomorrow from 4 to 5. It's a webinar, so they don't have to get in the car at all, correct?
Exactly, yes. And they can find that under the events tab on my webpage that I gave you, or they can call I'll make sure I get the registration link to them. If they leave their email address and phone number on my voicemail, or we may talk live and I can get that information from them. 313-821-5060. And that's at 4 o'clock tomorrow, Thursday, but no fear, if you can't make it at that time, we'll record it and get the recording to those that are not going to be able to attend live.
So that's the phone number again is
313-821-5060.
Well, you mentioned like absentee management, and I know partnerships can be sticky, but so the point is there might be several teachers that might want to combine their efforts, assuming they really know each other. And I found in my professional career, no matter how much you love somebody socially, they may not necessarily be a good business partner. But if you are a teacher and you know fellow teachers, obviously, then you always just write out a simple contract and have what they have, an exit clause, so that if things don't work out, You talk up front. It's like a prenuptial agreement. and,
exactly. Yeah, sometimes referred to as a buy-sell agreement.
Right. Exactly. So, Mark Cory, I've known for years, almost to the last century. and I know you're a busy guy, so anybody that's interested is free to call our toll-free number 888-489-8980. But better yet, why don't you repeat your phone number twice again, Mr. Mark Cory? Go ahead. 313-821-5060. And Mark is not going to try to stick you with one franchise. He's not like the one note samba. He represents how many franchises again?
Over 250.
Okay, folks. All you got to do is call, and Mark can pick it up from there. Mark, it's been a pleasure talking to you. We'll talk again soon. God bless. Right now, I got to take a brief break, and we will be right back. Hi, Ike Engelbaum. I am really excited about a new sponsor, and that is Memory Health. These are vitamin capsules that you take 3 a day, and it improves your memory. Memory Health has been proven to be scientifically helpful for early stages of Alzheimer's. In fact, it has been claimed that it can even forestall Alzheimer's. Dr. Joel Kahn made this statement: in my more than 30 years of practicing medicine, no other product has ever come close to truly supporting brain health like Memory Health. It's a safe, natural supplement. If you need any more information, call 888-489-8980. For over 30 years, Cruz Hearing and Service has helped thousands of people improve their hearing and enjoy the sounds of their life again. If you don't hear as well as you like, Cruz Hearing can help you. They have actually hearing aids that the batteries do not need to be recharged. And they also have a caption phone that you can view for free. And also the phone, if you are over 65, is available to you free. So any phone calls you get, you can see captioned if you don't hear that well. Hey, they've got other stuff. If you'd like the free cookbook, call 1-888-489-8980. That's available. You can call Cruz Hearing Direct at 877-456-2789. The number direct is 877-456-2789. And I just want to give you some thoughts for the new year. And for some reason, people say, well, I'm not ready yet. Maybe the first of next year. Well, guess what? The first of next year is less than 2 months away. And if you are serious about wanting to start your business, our Entrepreneurs Network of Michigan has got over 20,000 members all around the world, literally. And I am here to tell you that if you're serious about wanting to start your own business, give me a call. Our toll-free number is 888-489-80. We just heard from Mark Cory. Franchising has actually got a lot of great advantages, because although you're business on your own, you're not alone. And likewise, I like to think of that of our entrepreneurs group. If you join up with us, we have a membership, a nominal fee of like $39 a month, but we don't twist arms. It's only if you wish to join up with us that we encourage you to be a member. You can, as a member, have contact with over 20,000 people that I personally have met, so it's not like something that I drop a name to you and I haven't evaluated their credentials. If you will call me, we've got a very simple self-assessment type form as to what you should consider. And especially when you are starting a business, there's some basics that you want to have prepared before you get started. We have an 8.5, 11 sheet that I'll be glad to share with you. Just call us on our toll-free number, 888-489-8980. We have meetings almost every day in different locations with different themes. I can't stress the importance strongly enough that if you're serious about wanting to go into business, you should network. Network, it's N-E-T, work. It's not N-O-T. Network is an opportunity for you to share ideas and thoughts. This evening there's a group being run by Dora in York. It's right downtown Birmingham, Startup Nation, where we have a mini Shark Tank type presentation. If you're interested in joining up with me, you're more than welcome to. We still may have some seats available, 888-489-8980. But I'll be glad to have you as a guest at some of the meetings that I attend. Rotary Club, the Optimist Club. These are international organizations, and almost all of them are business professionals. Many of them are semi-retired. And those that are not semi-retired, you may work a relationship with them. And one of the wonderful things about a service organization like the Rotary Club and the Optimist Club, aside from the fact they have over 1.2 million people all around the world, ain't so bad. They're giving people. They give before they take. And nobody joins an organization like the Optimist or the Rotary Club to hustle. They really want to give back, and they want to help other people. The biggest question you should ask yourself, if you want to go into business, is why? Why do you want this? And are you prepared in terms of having experience? I mean, I'm talking about hands-on experience. I'll give you a very simple example. I have so many people that have come to our meetings that want to start a restaurant. Why? Because people eat food 3 times a day, and I like to cook, and I think I can make a living at it. What you don't realize is that it is a very intense type of occupation. And unless you've worked in a restaurant, I mean, not just hand out sandwiches or something, but I mean wash the dishes, clean the floors, and also make sure that the washing machines are working and the cooks and the stoves are working. There's a lot to it. You have to get into it. So whatever business you're considering, don't make the fatal mistake that because you got some sort of dumb relative or friend who's very successful at their business, you feel, hey, if he can do that, I can do that. You don't know their credentials. I'll be glad to help you. Call me anytime. 888-489-8980. I'd like to share some more thoughts, but not today. I don't have any time, but I do have time for my favorite parting thought for the Entrepreneurs Network, which is, if you really want to get anything done in life, you'll find a way. And if you don't, you'll find an excuse. And there is no excuse for not achieving your dreams and goals in America. because it is the greatest country in the whole world. Remember, a goal is just a dream with a deadline.
WNZK